So the mission last night was to get on the club net using the 220 megahertz repeater. As the primary comms plan for that mission was to go primary with the handheld. Although I missed the net, I did communicate with local teammates, trusted local contacts, people I know personally. They were on the VHF repeater and they were hearing it through the link, which proved that my radio worked, the repeater worked, and the link was working on schedule, and I had to update the schedule. It was a little confusing for them the way the repeater works. You get a courtesy tone on your repeater, but the guys on the linked repeater don't get a courtesy tone. So there was a little confusion. There were several people on. So I decided to go to my alternate for the mission, which was to go to the Icon V8000 base station and get on the VHF, the 145 megahertz repeater. That was the second fail. The repeater the people that maintain the repeater had some issues, and they turned off tone transmit on the repeater, so tone squelch on the radio wouldn't work. Now I spotted that, and I went to VFO, and I got on the air with them pretty quickly. This is the manual. I had to get the manual out. Even though it's somewhat intuitive if you're an ICOM radio user, I hadn't done it in a long time. So I had to go to the memory, swap it into the VFO, and then fix it, and then write it back to the memory. And I went to the instruction manual just to make sure I did that correctly. For some reason, I thought I had this frequency in a band, in a bank, and the radio has banks similar to a scanner. So bank A was my A-list repeaters, but as you can see, it's not there. 47's there, and that's gone. 35 is there. I don't use that very often. So somehow the 37 either was never in bank A or got in the edit got taken out of bank A. So it's a little confusing to use a radio with extra features if you don't use it all the time. So I've corrected that in my settings on my computer, and I'll refresh all my V8000s. I have 4 of these radios on various locations, so I want them all up to date. So this test was very important because it yielded on their air test as an amateur radio operator licensed. It gave me a checkout of my base station, of my programming capabilities. My local information is updated, and my file on my computer is updated. So that I'm going to call it, even though there was a fail, it didn't initially just work. We did learn something, and we got our information up to date. So so that's the addendum. This will be the V8000 video 7.3.